the a-hole for not telling my husband anything about my pregnancy after he called me disgusting. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. I don't know, but let's get into it. So, this might get long, but I need outside opinions. I, 38 female, recently had my first baby. Congrats. My husband, 38 male, and I have been married for 7 years. Things were fine until I got pregnant, and then everything shifted. For some background, I'm very close with his family, especially my sister-in-law, 26 female. She and her boyfriend are trying for a baby, and one day she asked me what pregnancy was actually like. I didn't go into the horror story details. I just told her honestly, yes, I had morning sickness, yes, my boobs were sore and leaking sometimes. Leaking? This is fun. Let's keep going. Yes, I was exhausted and had round ligament pain. The normal things. That sounds pretty bad. Well, my husband overheard me and snapped. You are disgusting. Why would you even say things like that out loud? Is it serious? Wait, what? Disgusting. But you're literally just describing like what it's like to be pregnant. I mean, did he not hear that part? I mean, if he got sick and he was describing what it was like to be sick, is it disgusting? Like, I beg your finest pardon. Now, let's keep going because this is like crazy. He acted like me describing literal pregnancy symptoms was the most inappropriate thing I could have done. I was so embarrassed and stunned, especially because his sister had asked. And it wasn't like I was just blotting out TMI to strangers, but the way he said it stuck with me. He called me disgusting. Oh, absolutely not. No, no, no. I thought you were gonna say something like, "Oh, you gain weight and you called it disgusting for that." Like, this is crazy. I mean, like, not like describing how it's like to be pregnancy and that. I mean, what is disgusting about? Like, let's keep going. I thought to myself, fine, if my symptoms, my body, and this pregnancy is disgusting to him, then he doesn't need to hear about them. Ooh. I stopped telling him anything. I didn't tell him when I had headaches, when my back hurts, when I was craving something weird, when I had to go in for extra appointment, nothing. Baby girl, you checked out. Like, he'd ask how I was doing, and I would just say fine. If he didn't want the gross truth, then he didn't deserve it. Fast forward to when I went into labor. My water broke at home while he was at work. He wasn't there, and since I had already decided not to bother him with the pregnancy stuff, I didn't call. Instead, I called his mom and sister, who immediately helped me get to the hospital. They stayed with me, supported me, and we were in the waiting room the whole time. I gave birth to our child, a healthy baby girl, and everything went smoothly. Well, all things aside, congratulations, baby girl, on your safe delivery. Like, congrats. Let's keep going. The only reason my husband even knew what was happening was because his mom and sister told him. He showed up late after the birth. Ooh, yeah, he's not gonna be happy about that. Just be like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was too disgusting for you. Ooh. I didn't test talk on him myself, and I honestly don't feel guilty. He had made it clear he didn't want to hear about my gross pregnancy, so I assumed he didn't want to hear about the labor and delivery either. Now he's furious. He says I humiliated him in front of his family by excluding him from his own child's birth. His mom, aunt, sister, hell, even his grandma are absolutely pissed with him for how he treated me. Sounds like the consequences of your actions. Like, to be fair though, if he found you disgusting during pregnancy, think of how disgusting having the baby is. Like, I hear you, like, shit yourself. I've heard of like things ripping down there. I've heard a lot. Like, well, let's keep going. They've been very vocal about it. His mom told him flat out, "You called your wife disgusting for being pregnant with your baby. You don't get to play the victim now." His sister has cut him off until he apologizes, and his grandmother told him he needs to learn some respect before the baby grows up. I really love that they are all on your side, but notice how they are all women. Like, notice how all the in-laws that are women are on your side, because it's like you feel like personally offended by that as a woman. Like, I'm offended. Let's keep going. The only people on his side are a handful of cousins. Honestly, they are the type who think women should be seen and not heard, so I'm not shocked. The weird twist is my own dad is furious at me. When I explained the situation since my husband is ghosting him, he said I was being dramatic and vindictive and that I embarrassed my husband. Okay, so like he probably also sees his pregnant women as disgusting. He sees no problem with my husband calling me disgusting for describing my pregnancy and think I should have just kept him updated anyway because that's your husband and he's the father. You know, my mom and brother, on the other hand, are completely on my side and said I was right to not tell someone who clearly didn't want to hear it. Yeah, I don't blame you. Right now, my husband and I are barely speaking. He goes to work, comes home, avoids me and the baby unless his family is around because he knows they'll rip into him if he ignores us in front of them. I'm on maternity leave, bonding with my daughter, and honestly, I don't even miss telling him things. I feel more supported by his mom and sister than by him. Sounds like you're a single mother. I hate to say it, but like, sounds like you've checked out. Part of me wonders if I really did go too far. Was I wrong for shutting him out completely and not even calling when I went into labor? By doing that, you may not have meant to, but I do feel like you broke up with him. And again, I really don't blame. And again, I really don't blame you, but like, you broke up with him. Or was he wrong for making me feel like my pregnancy and my body were shameful and disgusting in the first place and my revenge was completely justified? I mean, at the end of the day, he like hurt you, and if he's not willing to take accountability for that, then it is what it is. Like, you could try to talk to him about it and tell him why you did what you did, and obviously he knows, right? But if he's just gonna play the defensive and play the victim here, like he's a lost cause. Wow, let's check the updates. We have an update. But first of all, let's go through the comments. Let's stick around for it. The commenter, not the a-hole, your husband needs to grow up. I agree. It's kind of like, when you are like a little boy and you grow, start up by. It's not gross to be a woman. Those are normal, healthy things, okay? And now he's been called out by even his own family. He's having a tantrum and being childish. He's not only avoiding you, but as you said, avoiding your baby too. Yeah, that's a little inexcusable. Excusable. I can understand being mad at you, but it's not the baby's fault. When he should be helping you out with your baby and bonding with her. Honestly, I'd be threatening him with divorce if he doesn't snap out of this. It's ridiculous with how he's out here right now. Second comment. This, regardless of what happened and who may or may not be the heir who, the fact that he's only paying attention to the baby when others are around, that's a huge red flag. This time is critical for relationship and bonding with the child. It makes you bond with each other too. He needs to grow up and see the hurt and damage he is causing. Now, like, this marriage is over. A lot of people are saying it like you guys need to get into counseling because this doesn't sound like you guys aren't together anymore. Let's keep going. Third comments. We have a lot of people are like, dude, this marriage is over. Like you guys need to get into counseling because like this really does sound like you guys aren't together anymore. But let's keep going. The third comment and commenter. At this point, unless he and OP are willing to do hardcore relationship counseling, their marriage is dead. He's not looking like he's willing, and to be honest, I would expect him to only fight for the marriage because he shows the world what an other horse wagon he genuinely is if they divorce. So soon after his child is born, mind you, he'll be getting all sorts of congratulations and job reward on his daughter's boards. The fact that he is now not only married but with a child is seen as much more stable than single and childless man in most jobs. OP, has he done things like this previously, minimized you in such a disrespectful and red pill way? I'm so sorry your father showed himself for being a misogynist piece of crap too. I can only imagine the joy your mother endured with her pregnancies and your father's help. Congratulations to you on the birth of your gorgeous daughter. May your lives be happy and healthy. Okay, Opie responded, he has, but mostly small things, like making jokes about me overreacting when I stub my toe, teasing me for crying during sad movies, or saying I don't need help with laundry because that's an easy thing. Nothing as blatant as this pregnancy stuff, so I just ignored it at the time. This is yucky. The bar is really on the ground. Like the bar is in hell. I fail to understand how someone could think any of this is okay. But we do have an update. Let's get into it. OP is gonna answer some frequently asked questions. Are you taking counseling? Only if he agrees and it's split 50-50. I'm not going to shoulder the cost of fixing something he helped break. If he doesn't want to invest financially or emotionally, then that tells me all I need to know. Second, since you didn't tell him, did anyone else? Yes, several people did before and after the belt. My daughter texted him right away since my in-laws were already on the way. Sister-in-law called him three separate times after I'd already delivered and was holding the baby. He didn't pick up once. His mom called and left a voicemail. His brother texted. My dad called, texted, and left three voicemails. What is he doing? Why is he so busy? I hate that my mind is going here, but like, is he cheating? Because he cannot explain the behavior. This wasn't a case that nobody told him. It was a case that everyone told him and he ignored it. And to add insult to injury, he wasn't working late. He was out with the guys. Huh? I only knew of my sister-in-law and mother-in-law calling him until yesterday when my brother told me. Did you try to communicate with him before you stopped sharing pregnancy updates? Yes. The exact moment he called me disgusting, I told him, don't call me disgusting. That's rude. We got into a brief fight about it. A brief fight about why it is not okay to call your pregnant wife disgusting. He didn't back down, and that's the day I decided if my body and pregnancy was so gross to him, then he could live in ignorance. I'm not a mind reader, and I'm not going to beg him to treat me with respect. So, the day after the post, things blew up. Ooh. My husband came home from work acting like nothing happened. He barely looked at the baby, didn't ask me how I was doing, and plopped down on the couch, scrolling on his phone. Yikes. At that point, I asked him directly if he was ever going to apologize for calling me disgusting, for ignoring everyone's calls, for missing the boat, anything. His response, you embarrassed me first by running your mouth to my family. I don't owe you an apology. Oh, yeah, you're done. It's over. That was it for me. I grabbed some essentials for me and my daughter, packed a bag, and left. I'm currently staying at my brother's house. He and sister-in-law welcomed us in without hesitation, and honestly, the peace here is refreshing. I can't even imagine having to like be a pregnant woman and an environment like that. Like you are so incredibly vulnerable, and to feel like you can't share those things with your partner. Oh my god. I can't even imagine like the resentment that must have built up. Let's keep going. Like when she did that, they were already broken up. Like in her mind, when she did that, like when a woman stopped fighting, here's the thing: men think that when we nag and when we cut them out and when we get fussy about things, we are not criticizing from a sense of like we want to break up. That is us fighting for the relationship, fighting to be heard, fighting to be seen. And when we stop fighting, when we got quiet, when we stop explaining, we just kind of check out, which is exactly what happened here. The relationship is over. Like, I hate to say it, but it is over. So men who are watching this video, getting annoyed by their significant others, their partners that are constantly nagging them, there's always a fight going on, and why can't you just leave me alone? She's doing that. She's doing that because she cares. It's when she stops caring that you need to be worried. Let's keep going. I didn't go to my parents. Instead, I went to my brother because my dad has been openly siding with my husband. He told me I was dramatic and vindictive and that I embarrassed my husband by not keeping him updated. Meanwhile, my mom is absolutely furious with him for taking that stance. She flat out told me she's embarrassed to be married to a man who thinks this way and that she worries I'll cut her off from seeing the baby because of him. For the record, I would never cut her off. That is it. Like, for the record, I would never cut her off. I just don't want to see my dad right now. He can sit with the consequences of defending someone who calls his pregnant daughter disgusting. Yeah, the father, he's not like fighting for you either. Like, the father, he's like defending. It means that he thinks that kind of behavior is okay. Like, if you're mad, it's about you always. Well, let's keep going. As for my husband, his phone behavior has been wild. One minute he texting me saying I took his daughter away, and the next he's acting like this is just a fight we'll get over. Still no apology, not even a half-hearted one. Meanwhile, his family are absolutely tearing into him. His dad is more reserved but disappointed, and his brother told him he's lucky my name didn't divorce his ass on the spot. The only people on his side remain a couple of cousins, which frankly tells you everything. Well, then he can die on his hill. Quite frankly, let him die on the hill. His pride is what's ruining his marriage and ruining the relationship with his daughter. Not to mention, it's not just his pride, it's also his like very old way of thinking. Is he like Louis the 14 or like Henry the 8? Can't even be around his pregnant wife, sends her away to like live in the country while he philanders about because he can't bear to look at her. Like, what do you mean? Well, let's keep going. Right now, my baby girl is surrounded by love and support. My side of the family, his family, with the exception of him, have been stepping up. My husband is on the outside looking in, and that's a position he put himself in. I'm really glad that your in laws are on your side. It must just be eating away at him. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I feel like unless he really takes accountability for what he did, and at this point, it's not even about taking accountability for like the disgusting comments. It has blown so far out of proportion. It didn't even need to get here. Now it's about all the resentment that is built up, all the behavior in between, the ignoring the data, refusing to take accountability. Now it's just become this being toxic monster that like it's not even just about the initial problem anymore. So are you the a-hole for not telling your husband anything about your pregnancy after he called you disgusting? No.